All right, so today we are diving into something pretty wild. Tesla's Cybertruck. I mean, you've seen the pictures, right? That unveiling, I don't know if wild even begins to cover it.
Yeah, it was something else. I mean, between, the way it looks and that whole window thing.
Whoa, right. The windows, not
Yeah.
exactly how they drew it up, I'm guessing. But I guess that's Tesla, right? Always good for a headline. But we're going beyond all that, beyond just the spectacle. Today we're asking, can the Cybertruck really change everything, or is it just hype?
Well, and it's interesting because, Tesla didn't exactly shy away from the controversy. If anything, they leaned in. This wasn't just about a new truck, it was about a statement.
For sure. And the video we're looking at today really gets into that, calling the Cybertruck's design, get this, intentionally polarizing. They even compare it to the original iPhone, something so different it kind of redefined everything.
And that's a really good comparison when you think about it. Like, think about some of those other big disruptions, the first VW Beetle or the first iMac. They were bold, right?
Yeah.
Maybe even jarring to some people at the time, but they made everyone rethink what to expect.
Yeah, totally. So could the Cybertruck be that kind of shift for trucks?
Well, it's certainly got the looks, but what about, what's under the hood? We're talking nearly indestructible exoskeleton, towing capacity over 14,000 pounds. I mean, that's like hauling a small elephant around.
Okay.
And don't forget the whole off-grid thing, right?
Yeah.
With that built-in outlet. I mean, with energy costs what they are and more and more people wanting to be more self-sufficient, that could be huge. Imagine like powering your house with your truck.
Okay, now that's just cool. It's like something straight out of, I don't know, a movie or something. And speaking of, we got to talk about the whole SpaceX connection.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't just any steel, right? This is the same stuff they use in rockets.
Yeah, and that's not just marketing. Using that stainless steel,
Yeah.
it actually has some real benefits. I mean, obviously it's super durable,
Right.
but it could actually be cheaper over time. Plus, no need to paint it, which is good for the environment.
Okay, so we've got a truck that's built like a tank, maybe powers your house, could even save you money on gas. But are there downsides?
Well, the video does point out some potential issues. For one, the size. It's a beast. And that could affect how efficient it is, especially compared to smaller electric vehicles.
Right, that makes sense.
And, it's still way better than something that runs on gas. But efficiency is something to think about, especially if you do a lot of driving.
Absolutely. And then there's self-driving, right? They talk about Tesla's autopilot, which is cool, but we're not at the point of it driving itself yet.
Exactly. Full autonomy, that's a whole other can of worms. And honestly, Tesla's not the only one trying to figure it out. It's the same for everyone.
I mean, it makes you wonder, though, even if it can't totally drive itself yet, this thing is already shaking things up. And the video makes a good point about how it's become this whole pop culture thing, like Tesla really gets how to tap into that.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like something out of the future, right? The video even compared it to stuff like Blade Runner, that whole cyberpunk look.
Seriously, you almost expect to see it driving around in some kind of dystopian movie or something.
Yeah.
And you can't deny Tesla knows how to get people talking. I mean, everyone's got an opinion on this thing.
That's the thing. It's so different. It's almost like, I don't know. It's free publicity, right? That's hard to come by.
Absolutely. But buzz will only get you so far, right? What really matters is, can it actually do what they're saying it can do?
Exactly. That's where the rubber meets the road or whatever. And don't get me wrong, the tech is impressive, but can they actually build enough of these things? I mean, it's complicated.
That's true. And what about just owning one day to day? It's massive. Will it even fit in a normal garage? Can you park it? Then there's, repairs, all that.
All good points. And we haven't even talked about the environmental impact of building it, right? That steel is great, super durable, but it takes a lot of energy to produce.
So it's not quite as simple as, oh, it's electric, so it's good for the planet. Right.
Yeah.
We have to think about the whole picture.
Exactly. And that's where it gets tricky. There's always trade-offs.
Right. It's like trying to put together, I don't know, a puzzle, but the pieces don't quite fit yet. But maybe that's the whole point. Maybe Tesla's trying to change everything, not just how cars are made, but how we think about, transportation and all of it.
That's interesting. I mean, it makes you wonder, is this actually revolutionary or just, a really interesting experiment?
I have to admit, even with all of the potential downsides, there's something undeniably captivating about the Cybertruck.
It's that sense of possibility, right? The feeling that Tesla might actually pull it off, that they might actually change the game entirely. It's what makes them so fascinating, even if you're not sold on the Cybertruck itself.
For sure. It's like they're holding a mirror up to the entire automotive industry, forcing everyone to innovate, to adapt, to think differently.
And that kind of disruption can be a powerful catalyst for progress. Remember, not every innovation is an immediate success. Sometimes it takes those bold experiments, those risks, to pave the way for true breakthroughs down the line.
That's a great point. It makes you wonder, where would we be without those companies, those innovators who dared to challenge the status quo?
Exactly. And whether the Cybertruck ultimately lives up to the hype or not, it's already sparks a global conversation about the future of transportation, about sustainability, about what's possible when you push the boundaries of design and technology.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the Cybertruck's radical design and potential benefits to its potential downsides and the larger questions it raises about the future of transportation.
We've explored the technical marvels, the cultural impact, the environmental considerations. It's been quite a deep dive.
It has. And now we want to hear from you. What do you think? Is the Cybertruck a stroke of genius or a marketing gimmick? Will it revolutionize the truck market or fade into obscurity? Head over to our socials and let us know. Let's keep this deep dive going.